Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I am sharing another VHS haul, and this is like the ultimate, I hit the jackpot on classic films, which are my favorite if you're new here. So I was so excited to find so many of these, and I almost didn't look at the VHS this particular day because I had already gone through it a bunch of times. This particular store had had their VHS on 6 for $1 for a really long time because they had so many. So I had a theory that they might have had more out back that weren't out yet because they didn't have room for them. And I think my theory was correct because the VHS were no longer marked down, but they had a bunch of new ones out. And I have probably personally bought like hundreds from this particular store. So, yeah, anyway, I'll just get into it now. So first up, we have got The Great Race with some of my favorites in it. I was so excited to find this movie. I love Tony Curtis so much, so I can't wait to be able to watch this. And then I found Holiday with Katharine Hepburn in it. I was so surprised that I had not found this film like earlier than this. I kept looking everywhere and I never would see it. This case is a little bit weird. I was trying to figure it out, but it actually like opens up. There's no like opening for the tape to slide out. You have to open it up from the side. It's kind of weird. I don't think I've seen any VHS that have that style, but it's interesting. Then I found another Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant movie, Bringing Up Baby. I don't know if I've seen this before, but I love those two together and separate, but they just made such great films together, so super excited about this. They actually had a ton more classic films too. It's just that I already owned those, so I'm thinking somebody must have donated like their huge collection of classic films, and I was happy to be on the receiving end of that. Then we've got a Gregory Peck film that I've never heard of, so I don't think I've seen it, but I'm always happy to get a classic film. Then we've got this film called The Egyptian, which I've never seen before, but I am so excited to watch this. I'm just remembering that I have it while I'm recording this voiceover, but Cleopatra is one of my like favorite classic films, so I'm excited about this one. Then we've got a film called Heaven Can Wait, which I'm unsure if I've seen this before or not. And then I've got this film called Cactus Flower, and I realized after that I actually already owned this one. I had just recently picked it up, but the cover was different, so that's what threw me off about it. I think the one that I have already has a cuter cover. And then I've got Courage of Lassie. I have like another Lassie film with Elizabeth Taylor, maybe two. I don't remember, but I didn't even know that that existed or anything. I found this movie, Marty. I don't think that I've seen this before, but I did notice that it had like a little Oscar thing on it, so I'm excited to watch that. And then I found a Judy Garland film called Ziegfeld Girls. Very excited about that. I'm trying to collect all of Judy's films because she's one of my favorite actresses from old Hollywood. And then we've got this film, Rebecca. I've never heard of this film before, but I did notice that it also had a little Oscar thing on it, so that must have been like a series they did at one point. You can see little Marley walking by. And then I found this movie called Peyton Place, and for some reason, and I'm not sure because I haven't bothered to look it up, I feel like that was the name of a show, so I don't know if it's like any relation to it or not, but I think the show was like sooner than way back then. This is one of my all-time favorite classic films, and I only just recently discovered it within the last 5 years, but it is so good. I've watched it multiple times in the like 4 or 5 years since I've discovered it, so I was so happy to find this one. I'd been hoping that I was going to find it for quite a while and just never seen it anywhere, so I screamed out loud when I found this one because I've been looking for it for so long. And then I found another Tony Curtis movie, which I was super excited about. This one's with Janet Leigh. I'm pretty sure they made a few movies together while they were married, but was like very excited about that. I love this little like series like at the top there, it has the band like Comedy Classics. I have quite a few now. And then I found Pillow Talk, which I do already have, but it's a factory sealed copy, so I haven't opened it. So I was excited to find that. And then later, I think I ended up getting it like again, but it was a different cover. So I ended up keeping the other cover because I think it was cuter than this one. And then I'll probably try to sell the factory sealed one maybe on eBay. I'm not sure. Sometimes factory sealed VHS can go for a lot of money. And then this one isn't a classic film, but when I saw the cover, I couldn't believe how young they both looked. I think it might be from like the very early 80s and maybe even late 70s. I'd never heard of the movie before, but we like both of those actors, so figured it was worth picking up. But I just couldn't get over how young they looked. I don't know if I've seen any movies with them looking that young, so excited about that. And then I found The White Cliffs of Dover with Irene Dunne. Very excited about that. I didn't already have that one. And then I found another Janet Leigh movie, Touch of Evil. I don't know if I've seen that before. And this one's also starring Charlton Heston. And then I found To Paris with Love. At first glance, I thought that was like Fred Astaire on the cover, but it's not. And for some reason, I feel like this title is like familiar, so I don't know if this is the name of another movie or they remade this movie or something, but I don't know, it felt very... Same with the Thomas Crown Affair. I was surprised I didn't have it already, but something tells me that this movie was remade as well, because the name sounds super familiar. So I don't know, I could be wrong about that too, but I want to say it was like remade in the 90s maybe. I've never seen it though, like if it was remade, if that makes sense. Then I found a Henry Fonda movie, 12 Angry Men. Part of me wants to say that this might have been remade as well, but I don't know about that either. And then I found The Three Faces of Eve, which looks really good. And I found this Stanley Kubrick movie called The Killing. I've never seen this before, but I am a fan of Stanley. But what is up with the creepy clowns in like the past? I don't know. They were like so creepy, and they were used so frequently in movies. I feel like it's weird. And so here is the second version of Pillow Talk, technically the third that I own now. This is the one I'm going to keep because I think the cover is a lot cuter, but it's one of the ones that has like the band kind of at the top from, it's like a series from MCA. I have quite a few now. This is one of my favorite Doris Day movies. My favorite of her and Rock Hudson is Send Me No Flowers, but that one was really good too. And then here's another one with Rock Hudson, another part of that comedy classic series called Come September. I just think the art on these boxes is really, really cute. It's very like 60s. And then we've got this, The Shoes of the Fisherman. It's a Laurence Olivier film. I was kind of excited about this. I get really excited anytime I find movies that have like 2 tapes, because you know it's going to be like a really good long movie. Or I guess I enjoy movies that are really long. It's like the perfect rainy afternoon kind of thing with a cup of tea. I don't know, like I have quite a few of them now. This one is obviously like religious in tone, even though I'm not religious. I can enjoy a religious film. I don't know why, but... And then lastly, I found The Man Who Knew Too Much. Love this. Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart. I'm excited to find this on VHS. I think I do already have it on DVD, potentially. I have quite a few Alfred Hitchcock like DVDs with multiple films on them. And I think I got one on this day as well, which I'm probably going to show you next. I'm assuming, but I thought the cover art was really nice on that too. Yeah, here we go. So I had just got this one on this particular trip, but I think I already have one or two more. So, but he made a lot of films. So anyway, I was excited to find that. I thought it was worth the money. So that is it for my classic, like old Hollywood film haul. I was so excited to find that many. It's not that easy to find classic films, at least where I shop. I mostly see like 90s VHS, which I feel like is peak VHS in general, so I guess it makes sense why they'd be around. But anyway, I was so happy to find so many all at once. They were like 50 cents a piece, I think, now that they've raised the price again, but that's still a great deal. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again really soon.